Alright, so you gotta wait for people to get in there.
Hold on my drawings. Can you hold them for a second? So I
Huh?
can get my drawings. You said I can show my drawings.
Yeah, you can get them.
I'll get a couple of them.
Alright, go get them. You getting your stuff?
Yep, got them. I got 2 of them. Is anyone here yet?
Looks like there was a person, but now they're not. But you weren't on there, so.
Did that time count?
No, we'll start it from when. Alright, so it looks like there's 2 people. You gotta say hi.
Hi. Hello, world. Jazz hands. Hello,
Kimberly.
Kimberly Gregoris.
Don't get so close.
I don't know then.
Yes,
Carolyn
Miss
Cole.
Carolyn.
Hello, Carolyn.
He's taking over, y'all.
Hi, Sharon.
I told him he could have about 30 minutes and he would be able to do a takeover of my YouTube. So he's going to have about 30 minutes and do his little takeover.
And does the time start when I start showing my stuff? Or has it already started?
You will start it in just a minute.
Okay.
Well, you got 10 people. Tell them about your art supplies you got today.
Alright. So, me and my Pop went to AC Moore.
You gotta speak up.
Okay, so me and Pop went to AC Moore. I'll call him that. I'll call him. And we got some art supplies. And I've been drawing and doing comics before that, but I just got some new art supplies. So.
I think she means when I'm opening boxes.
I just sit in my room.
So you're doing your own thing. All right. I think the clock just dinged. It did. So go ahead and you can start now.
Start with 2 drawings, both of which are Spider-Man themed.
You gotta speak up.
Okay, so I have 2 drawings. Both are Spider-Man themed, even though they're all Marvel themed and not all Spider-Man, but there's one from the original movies. There's in my drawings. There's another one. Okay. So now.
Say thank you.
Huh?
Say
Thank you. All right. Let's look through here. All right. So before school started, on the first day of, I need references to draw those. And some of them I use like different images for reference, and I put them together. So ever since the first day, I've been doing the comic stuff since like June 6th. That's when it all got started to like get planned. I drew some things but they weren't comics yet. They were like the ideas. All right, so ever since the first day, okay, Sherry, but
Let me try and move this down a little bit, or you sit
I'm
up.
fine.
Okay.
But ever since day one, for our comics, we had a multiverse planned. I'm not sure if you can see that. I'm trying to cover another top secret thing. So. Multiverse. So that's basically it for this book. I already showed.
Say hey to Miss Jean.
Hello, Jean. I think there should be something in here. Oh, yeah. Comics. Back when my drawing wasn't so bright. Okay, so.
You gotta be looking and talking to them.
Okay, so I showed you this one got bloody. Okay, so let me find the first, okay, so that was gonna be another cover where I tried to do the webbing early on, but here is Web Bat number 2. This is the cover. I wanted him to, if you saw Batman anywhere, you know that he has those things on his arms, and since it's a combination of Batman and Spider-Man, I tried to do that, but I literally forgot about it, so, yeah. So I think this just picks up right off the bat, with the action. Yeah. This was in my not so bright comic days. Destiny. But, so, start off with Woodbat in his first ever suit. You have never seen this.
Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you. But even in the first time I showed my comics, you haven't seen this suit because it's only been in 3 issues. It made a small cameo in my newest one that I've made, but anyway. Alright, so he's like on a rooftop and he's like,
Show him.
I gotta read first.
Oh, okay.
He's like, all right, new powers, new me. So then, fast forward to a robber. It's like, but then in the page, you see like a web attached to the side of his head. And he's like, what's that? So there's that page. I wasn't the best at drawing, even without references back then. So, this in like early July. So, hello. And then, so he yanks the web. And he's like, because it's heavy. And then the guy is flying. And then, yeah, I was not the best at drawing. Not at all. And then, thank you. And so he pulls the web, and you cannot even tell. He also dropped the gun, and then punches him in the face, I guess. Yeah, he punches him in the face. And then the cashier is just in shock, like, forgot to add some details, but he's just in shock, like, do you want money? Do you want money? Thank you. No need. And he just swings off. So, here's that page. 9 in 2 months. In a couple days. So yeah, he just like, boom. And then he's like, woohoo! And he's swinging from building to building. And then there's like a small fire right there. Like in the side of that building. Like if you pay real close attention. Hope I have enough time to cover this. But then we see a full-on explosion happen and he's knocked. Like you can see what that down there. Like he just knocked down out of there. trying to make my stories more grounded. I realized now that they were like just action. They were just boom. Okay, Oscar, stop that.
Uh-uh.
Okay, so, and he's like, someone's in there, I gotta save them. So he like hangs onto his web that was holding on to like part of the building that was sticking out after the explosion. And he's in this one room covering his face, so there's like no smoke or fire.
They hate a Miss Christie.
Oh, Kirsty. And then he's like, so then I just put sobbing next to these like a family.
Thank you, Lauren. He's actually got quite a bit. He got a new big book today when he went out with my dad.
It's a sketch pad.
Sketch pad, I'm sorry.
And then it's like, he's like, it's okay. And then one of them turns
Sit up.
around and is like, you made a mistake. So there's the page right there. It's a masked person who works for the villain.
No, don't do that.
I wasn't the best. And then two others turn around. So, come on. He puts his fists up. So then he like is still holding on to the web that was like behind him. It wasn't the best. I can't look. Remember this? I had to use a reference for this.
Here.
Yeah. But then he kicks the girl like villain. And then he's like he webs up the like say like younger guy, and then he punches one of them and punches the girl villain, and then and then you see the man, and his like the lenses are like shattered. So there's that. Look at this. These old comics were just like boom boom. I'm trying to make them more like just not only that.
Look at them there. Look at
Okay.
yeah.
So then something happens here. I cannot even tell. It's probably like I think he like webs them up. So then like whatever that is, I think that's him webbing them up. It's just like a henchman. It's a henchman, is what I meant. Okay. I love you too, Otis. Okay. So, that'll do it, he says. And then he shoots his web, fully webbing them up, putting them in this like thing. So there's one of them, and the girl is like curled up, and the other man is like just hanging from the side. Right. Oh wait, no, that was. Oh yeah, it was.
Otis wants to see.
So then, thank you. They had to be working for someone, he says. But who? But then suddenly, boom, an explosion happens from under his feet. Hello, Marcy Yount. Okay, sorry. And then he's just laying there after like a crash. Like you can see the thing a lot. I tried to do something with that panel. It looks so weird. I tried to do like an actual neck. It looks weird, trust me. But anyways, still alive. May regret that. I don't know. That's why. But, and then you see the villain, the main villain, emerge. So he's just like, that's what I was talking about. And he's like, and then boom, He looks different. He is not a fat guy. But, and Webbat is just, and then Webbat's just like, that's a lame suit. So then he puts his mask on. All right, get up. Okay then. So then he just get punched the living daylights out of him. Not the villain. Thank you, Christina. I cannot pronounce names. Okay, thank you. And so he's like, okay, and he gets up holding his arms, but the living daylights are punched out of him by the villain. And then he's just stomped on while he's on the ground. Marvel, by far. Even though this is based off of Spider-Man and Batman, Marvel. It's easy. It's Marvel. But, so then he shoots a web covering the nuke. I called him the nuke. I'm not sure if I should stick with that name. But, so yeah, it's based off of how strong he is. And then he webs away because he knows he needs to change the suit. So, basically he webs off and he, like, attaches a little Gina. And then he attaches onto the side of the building that he lives in.
Was that Gina?
Yeah.
Gina in a bottle? Is that what it said?
So then he sees his lenses just torn up in the mirror, but then he also notices how his mouth is it's jagged up. So he uses that inspiration for his new suit. So he starts drawing it and he gets it down. That's the suit he goes with. He took inspiration from how his was torn. So he decided with his new suit to remove the mouth part and make it one of those half face masks. And he's just time to end this. So then he's in his new suit. So then we see Nuke as a web attaches to the side of his head, just like that robber from before. And then Webbat lands. Those were the ears he had there. That wasn't some weird eye thing. Those were the ears. So then he stands up, and then the Nuke looks at him like, "Thought you gave up." But the suit got replaced fast. So then they punch and their fists collide. Oh, hey Denise. I didn't even notice. Sorry. So then, yeah, you got this as their fists collide. This is the final fight, by the way. So then the Nuke punches Webbat in the back of his head. So then he webs him on the shoulders, the Nuke, and then he kicks the Nuke in the side of the head. "You made a mistake coming back here," the Nuke says, with blood running from his mouth. So there's you can see it just. So then he kicks Webbat in the back of the head, but then he webs his hand down. But then, no, he was getting up. That was a mistake in the art. Oh, someone gave you $10 in Super Chat. Thank you. But then the Nuke grabs Webbat and slams his back on his knee. So, yeah. Webbat is in pain. What's that? Okay. Oh, Otis, stop.
Come over here.
Okay. Otis.
Come to mama.
So then Webbat is on the ground. Just there. And then he's grabbed by the head and then kicked right at the jaw. So there's that page, if you can even see it. I hope you can see this all. But then, so Webbat jumps up and Web's kicking him. But he didn't realize of how the nuke has that horn. It can stab someone. So Webbat is stabbed in the stomach. So, and then he's just holding the wound. These comments, yep. And these comics get a bit rough. But then he's like, shouldn't have come back, the nuke says, with blood still coming from his mouth. And Webbat's like, no. And then he shoots a web to his side. And Nuke is looking confused. Confused as ever, like, what? So then we see his web attached to a car. I didn't know how to draw these back then really well. And then he webs another car, and another car, and another car. And he grabs the webs in a bundle, like just giving his last bit of strength to it. Right here. Look if you can see it. So we skip the page. And then when the nuke realizes what he is doing, thank you, he screams, no! Oh! Thank you.
Why are you being so silly?
Sound like a goat. But then Webbat is sent flying when the explosion happens. But that also knocks Nuke down. So then he webs the nuke up. Oh, there's that, by the way. And then he uses his webbing, so when the cops come, it says he's all yours. So here he is, the nuke webbed up. These are just like the whatchamacallit, I forgot.
Rough draft?
Yeah, rough draft comics. We'll be like making sure they're better than the actual. So yeah. So then his I haven't decided if it's like uncle, parent. I know it can't be parent because spoiler for my latest comic, his mom actually died, which was a huge part of his backstory, but it was when he was a kid. So and his dad is the nuke. I just put that twist in there later on in the story. I was like, I know exactly what that is. So I wrote this mini comic. So then they walk in and like, Derek, someone wants to see you. And he's like, 1 second. He's like healing, like he's making sure to get rid of all the blood, so no one gets suspicious. But there's still a little bit. 1 second. But then, yeah, it'll be in like this mini comic. I'd probably release it around the time when all 5 of the villains introduced team up. Yeah, 5. And they team up, kind of like Sinister Six style. I have all the villains ready, and then the next comic I'm writing, I don't know what to call them yet, but so then Yatoshin walks in and is like, hello, Derek, knowing fully that he is with it. And seeing that work, he's like, you got to join our team. We need someone like you. So then, boom. So I got like 12 more minutes, and probably get this comic in. Oh, I can show you this mini comic.
Before you start that, I'll give you a couple extra minutes. Why don't you listen to the Oscar sing it? See if they want to hear him sing. Okay.
Do you want to hear Oscar sing?
Don't get so close.
Do you want to hear Oscar sing? I only need one yes. Okay.
Sing. Good job.
All right. So basically,
You just gonna move right on real quick.
trying to find it. Yeah, this is like a still comic. Like the big comic I wrote here. Was it in here? Oh, it wasn't in here. It was in this one. Okay. Here we go. Here's so we go. Here's so we go. So, this is a mini comic about Webbat titled Identities Revealed with a picture of Nuke's face. Not the best artwork still. So then, I also made Derek's best friend, ironically named Chris, because my friend's name is Derek. I think I already discussed this, and he's helping me with comics, and so is my friend Tristan, Peyton, and probably some others, but I forgot. So then he's like, "Hey Chris," he's like, "Yeah." When I was a child, my dad went on a mission. He said he was a secret agent and a hero. So then I heard the same thing about my dad. I wonder why they never came back. I wonder if they were partners, which they were. So then we see two agents, Chris's dad and Derek's dad, as they have a chamber. And the chamber starts to open. You can see a slight crack and there's a suit. And then, boom. Webbat's first ever villain suit. Kill Tracker, I named him. Kind of like Killmonger from Black Panther. And then the nuke. So then we see one of them smile. We just see that on the page. So then, this is only for you, Derek, as he holds a picture with a crack over the mom. And then there's him and Derek right there. He's holding the picture. So then, I'm only doing this for you, Chris. The other villain says, holding a picture of his son. So, pretty sure that's the end. Yep, and the end. So, I think probably need a couple extra minutes for this. But in here, I have, well, I think this is like a rough draft for the rough draft yet, because I don't think I was doing my best on the story. But, so maybe, as far as I know, this could sometime be. If we think the story is good enough, I don't really think it is myself. That this could be the official Civil War storyline. Probably need like a couple extra 5 minutes though. Alright, so I find it. It's in here. Yep, right here. So right here. So we open with Yatoshin and Potato Man being cornered by Darkstar, the villain for me and my friend's version of the Guardians of the Galaxy. He also faces Earth, but he's mainly like, we still haven't thought of a name, but yeah. I don't know what to call him. But, so he's like, we wait. As Yatoshin says, so what do we do? For what? Him. So then we see, oh wait, no, I didn't show the page. Hold on. Still with me. So there we go. And then we see Darkstar. I've conquered and destroyed many worlds, but you put up the best fight. But then his face gets slashed. So then he's like, what the? And then I'm him. It was supposed to be a team, but I only put up one, so there would be a change in the text. And Yatoshin is like unexpected. And then he's like, oh my. And then there's screaming and this huge explosion over the city. So Darkstar is laughing, like just on the ground. So there was supposed to be something. And it's like, what did you do? I did what I did, he says. So then it's like, Yatoshin presses this wristband, which gives him the metal fists. It forms. It's like a high-tech wristband. So then he clicks as the little blaster comes out. And he's like, do it, do it. Be a killer just like me and kill someone. So then Yatoshin has tears, and he just lets the metal fist go back, and it deforms one day later. Thank you, Carolyn. People want to donate to me? You don't have to. Like, you don't have to. I'm sorry. I was too late for two. Gina and Carolyn. But thank you. But you don't have to. So then, it's like, all of that happened yesterday. I want to keep fighting so nothing like that ever happens again. So then, he's like, we need to stick to crime now. Just like what Bat usually is. Even though he fights intergalactic threat. No. It's about people who could destroy the world if they want you to. So then, there's the page. It's gonna draw much smaller Yatoshin there, but I realized. We are superhumans. And then Potato Man's like, aw, thank you. And he's like, it doesn't matter. Potato Man yells back. So, I'm barely into this. So then, Yatoshin, with his minor anger issue, he doesn't really get mad. He doesn't have like anger issue, but he responds quick a lot of times. And he punches Potato Man in the face, knocking him to the ground, bruising him instantly. As Potato Man is on the floor. And he's just like, you just started, whoa, and then pulls out his sword. But they don't have Tojin. And then, so, I can fight, you know that, right? Right? And then Yotosian gets zapped. Yeah, yeah, she is. And then, like, the electric gatekeeper.
Why'd you say yes, she is?
Huh?
Why'd you say yes, she is?
Because they asked if you're recording from your phone.
Oh, yeah.
And then, so, they're like, who are you? It's classified, he says. So, there. He also says, hello, boys. So, they asked me to ask for your PayPal.
Well, my PayPal?
Mm-hmm.
What, my email?
No, the PayPal.
My PayPal's just my email, my normal email.
Forgot your email.
It's on my YouTube.
It's her email name and it's on her YouTube, she says. So then Yotosian is like, I'm lucky I escaped. But then he hears someone scream.
What's that?
And
What are
then
they asking that for?
they want to donate. I told them they didn't have to, but they were like,
Well, make sure you say thank you.
thank you if you do. But, so then we see Cypher, one of the people from the Wanted team, pull out his sword and is like, who are you? So then we cut to Ghostly, another hero, drinking some tea. So he's like, so Yotosian has gone rogue. And then we see the electric gatekeeper again, like, yes, sir. I actually think this is, in terms of, like, lower action, better than Webbat. Like, in terms of that. Because I'm getting somewhat better at pacing, even though there was a mini fight. And it's a pretty short comic. Plus, there's just this huge fight scene after a couple pages that I'm in. So then he's like, Yank, then what are we waiting for? So then Yotosian is tied up to a chair like, ugh. Thank you, Gina. I want to say that. I need to get better. And then the Axeman, I named him Axeman. It's not like Axeman. It's like, it's pronounced differently. It's not like Spider-Man, Iron Man. It's like...
What are you doing?
I'm sorry. There probably will never be a movie. I mean, these comics might be released. Might not. So then, like the Axeman has on his axe spikes. And they're like stabbing through his hands. And Yotosian is like, time for a joke. Which isn't going to be funny. Because that's like normal Yotosian. And then, so basically, he's like, if you love pain that much, marry it. Like, I want to have this thing with Yotosian where he makes bad jokes all the time. Because I know this is a bad joke. But then, it's kind of somewhat funny when Axeman just looks at him like, I do love pain. And then Yotosian responds to his earlier question like, well, and then busts out the ropes like, I am Yotosian. My ropes, dude. Sorry. But then the wall busts down. You can't hide, man, the electric gatekeeper says when he comes from the rubble and smoke. And then I'll help you through this war, Yatosian, now that I see how much you need it. And then someone busts right through the roof, and then someone turns. I still haven't decided a name on him. And he's like, Dad, why do you get into so much trouble? And then Yatosian's like, son, this is not a plot twist as he was introduced earlier. Thank you. If you can be. Oh, yeah, that page got on. I'm with you, Dad. And then he screams for its armor to activate. But then, quickly, he only did that for protection. He then pressed his own button on a wristband. And then it opens a portal, and the entire Wanted team and Yatosian and him were teleported out to home base. She told me to speak up.
I didn't mean to speak up like that.
He got away again, Potato Man says, with fire around his eyes to represent anger, as we see Mercenary Robot click 2 buttons on his jaw, and there's Potato Man, by the way, and then his face, just like the frontal plate of his face, gone. It's just gone. I've had the story written for a while. And then there's like these wires all over. And then Yatosian's like, holy crap! So yeah, there it is. I know more words than this. A lot. I just don't use them. Because I really don't know the meaning. I just know they exist. But Yatosian, he says Yatosian on Bond because there's a human under Yatosian. Yatosian is like, it's addressed in the first Yatosian comic, which is also going to be the first comic we ever release. As my friend is writing it. Fresh. And Yatosian Bond. As Yatosian is just lying on the ground there. He like screams for Yatosian to bond. So then their home base explodes. Boom. And then there's people who aren't in this. I thought I would put them in somewhere. But then there's like Potato Man's team. Agent L, Ghostly, Electric Gatekeeper, Potato Boy, his son, Potato Man, obviously. So they're just all there. And then as Yatosian is still bonding, he's just like, no. So like, so he's like just kind of sitting there with Yatosian bonding. So then you see Axeman, Cypher, Yatosian, Springy, Mercenary Robot, Bandit, and Yatosian's son all line up for battle. And Yatosian is screaming at the top of his lungs. And then as Potato Man grabs his swords, he's like cute. And then, what's his name? The cactus and the tiger land down. And then here comes the crap again. Potato Man puts his sword to the side and is like, not so cute, holy crap. Meanwhile, so we see Darkstar So this goes nowhere. But oh, good night. But Dark Star is like, I'll help you Toshin defeat Potato Man at a price, but that goes nowhere. Trust me. So then we see yeah. I actually like him. Good night, Denise. So then Yatoshin's son pulls out his staff and puts electric tips on it and says, stand down. As then we see Potato Boy jump at him. And he's like, never! And then, so then he clicks his thing so that it will still block the sword as he jumps up. They're like over rubble. So then it clashes with his miniaturized bow staff. Hello. So yeah, and then see the brawler punch. Oh yeah, I forgot about the brawler. Where did he even come from? Okay, but then he punches Agent L to the ground as his gun crashes to the floor. Yeah, I did bad on the... No, but I had a similar idea when I was first thinking of him. I cut out paper and it was like a joke, and I made like this character, Potato Man, and he was the first one ever thought of. And we didn't even think about comics back then. But then when we started thinking about it, we were like, wait a minute, should we use Potato Man? And I was like, all on board. Oh, hey Jasmine. You're basically the only one who can troll in this chat, so feel free to troll. So then, you might want to rewatch this later so you can see what I had. But yeah, so then Agent L is on the floor, and the brawler picks up his gun and starts to aim it at Agent L. It gets a bit more violent here. Oh, but like I was saying, an idea I had was for Potato Man to pull a Spider-Man and shoot like French fry and like be able to, but that was like before I even thought of him. It was like a joke back then, but when we started thinking about comics, we were like, let's use Potato Man. I was like, yeah. So yeah, so then he shoots Agent L in the face. And then Yatoshin is like, my God. And then, yeah. So then Yatoshin's like, my God. I'm sorry.
That's gonna have to be changed. Don't take the Lord's name in vain.
And then he's like, what the? And then Cypher's like, no. Tiger's like, oh my. So then Brawler's like, guys, I'm sorry, but quickly the Tiger rushes up and stabs the Brawler in the chest with his claws, killing him. Yep, quick kill. So then he has the blood just coming from his claws and he clenches his fist. And then we see the battle continue as Potato Boy punches past the armor, and it's like shattered, kind of, part of it. And then we see quickly Potato Man stab Yatoshin, killing him too. So then we see Yatoshin's son get up with taking his helmet off, and he's like, Erg, and he's like, Dad, and he sees Yatoshin die right there. So then they unbond, and the human is gets injured even worse than Yatoshin. They both got that stab wound, killing them both. Both Yatoshin and the human. Named John, I think. I forgot the name. And the electric one is like, no. So he blasts the water guy, who I guess isn't this. And it goes like for a 2-page spread. But Potato Man, I was on the wrong side, I guess. I don't know. 10 days later, they're like, I see Yatoshin's son new armor. He has like the Yatoshin on part of it, and they're like at the funeral for him. And then he's like, energy waves. He's like detecting energy outside. And then he's like, you murdered my dad 10 days ago. As Potato Man and Potato Boy stand right there. But murder, I murdered no one. Child with a smirk on his face. And then he pulls out his staff. And Potato Man pulls out his sword. Yes. Anyway, so then he's like, but then Potato Boy realizes that he's on the wrong side, and he's like, this ends now, and then stabs Potato Man from the back, going to his chest and through his chest. Falls, and he dies. And he's like, click, and then he's like, it's over. Yeah, he's dead. And then we see Yatoshin's son and Potato Boy taking down some robbers. And then we see Dark Star in prison. And then we go to Yatoshin's grave, and then we see one eye open and one eye wink with like just closed. How Yatoshin used to have his eyes always closed.
You did good for your first live stream. Tell them you're done.
I'm done. Goodbye. Thank you, everyone. The live stream is over. I want to sleep.
You're silly. Make sure did you say thank you?
Thank you.
All right, well, tell them good night.
Good night, everyone. The end.
Y'all, I would get on camera, but I look a hot mess. So that's why he wanted to do his own stream. So thank y'all for watching and talking to him and everything. I think he did pretty good for his first time.
First time? I thought that was a one-time thing.
You can do it again.
Again? And again?
Again. All right, say good night. Get down, sit right there and say good night.
Good night, everyone.
Stop, don't do that. See, they said you did awesome.
I have a better idea.
What?
I should just read comics on like a weekly or monthly video.
We'll figure something out. You left one of your little notebooks over there.
This one's important.
Good night.
Wait, guys.
Oh, hold on.
I gotta show you one big secret
We'll give
about
it
my
here.
comics.
Sure.
Now let me find it. I want to reveal to you one of the biggest secrets. Okay. Are you guys ready? Are you ready? Okay. Hope you're ready. Okay, in all
What
seriousness.
was it? Is it Mickey Mouse?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was back when I did the but I can show them a couple more things if it's okay
Well-
with you. Yeah. If I can.
Okay, just a couple more minutes.
So this was an idea, I'm not sure if we're even gonna use it, but an alternate universe where it's kind of like a mix between Yatoshin and the Bandit, but like Yatoshin has a knife and like, so he's kind of more just not really. We'll think of like a different backstory and personality change if we do this, but I didn't even finish drawing it. I was like, should we scrap? I think we should scrap this, but I think we might be able to still. Dang it.
What'd you
Oh.
say?
Huh?
What'd you just say?
I said,
Okay.
Oh, here's an idea. We used to have like one of those kung fu, what was her name? With the profile picture with the like the thing, like the kung fu.
Yang?
Yeah. There was like, we were gonna have like that, like on Potato Man's forehead, and his swords were gonna look different. They're always gonna be French fry swords, but they were gonna have this pattern, and they were gonna have like, those like circular parts between the blade and the handle. It was gonna be like a chicken nugget, because like you see all those fast food restaurants. Yeah, you already know who that is. Oh, here's some. These were like some previous ideas we had. So the name of the tiger was originally going to be King Tiger, and when I wrote the names, if you want to hear them. So Derek's last name is Rogers, kind of like Steve Rogers. And then his dad's name is James Rogers, and then the last name of Chris would be Falls, and the last name of his dad, who is his first ever villain, is David Falls. I just realized that. And there's some like previous ideas that never were used. If I can show them, let me find them. Oh yeah, so Itoshin was originally gonna have his fist look way different. This is how it was gonna look with his like iron fist. So, I guess this was an original design for Itoshin. Okay. Yeah, I remember this. My friend had designed as if Potato Man had one of those Avatar arrows on his head and like a cape, and like my friend drew this. So yeah, we were like sitting on the rocks at the playground. We were like at the recess area. So then we also have what Yatoshin was originally supposed to have. It was kind of like an Iron Man concept. Even the face and stuff looked the same. But he was going to have this plate on his chest, and he would tap it, and then boom. This was literally the design of his costume. If you can see it. It was erased, but you can still kind of see it. Oh, yeah. It was like an arrow kind of pointed. Yeah.
All right, you about ready to wrap it up? You got almost an hour. You were supposed to get 30 minutes.
36 actually, because we started at like the 6-minute mark.
Well, but you've been on for almost an hour, so tell everybody again. Let's say good night and thank you for
Good night.
watching and everything.
Oh, and the cactus says like he has blood pouring from his eyes because he has cactus is ripped from his head, and you can see bloody skin, and he has like poison cactus, and he can't hug anyone because they would die. And also he has like poison prickle shooters. Like what? let's wrap it up, everyone.
All right, say good night.
Good night. It's been an hour.
Tell them to have a good weekend.
Have a
Stop
good
doing
weekend.
that. Don't do that. Bye, y'all.
Goodbye.